We're here in Montecito, California at the Unstoppable Mastermind. Got about 10 of my guys in there right now. We got 10 more showing up. This weekend we're gonna be focused on personal development, business development, and man, proximity is truly power. Like the energy in there is so infectious. Just the guys showing up, telling their story, sharing who they are. You start to level up just by being around one another. You just wanna better yourself just by being around high achievers or guys who are striving for excellence in their lives as well. So if you haven't joined us for one of our masterminds, man, I'm gonna take you with me on this journey over the weekend, but I want to see you at the next one. I want to help you level up, grow your mindset, develop those habits that will serve you, and crush it in every aspect of life. Let's go. But when you do something so intense, so difficult, you elevate beyond that. And like you don't give a fuck. You'll speak the truth, you'll do what you say like you want, like it doesn't matter. No. And then the thing is people come down and then they get all scared and timid. All those visions, all the things they wrote down, they don't act upon. So I literally go out and run or do whatever, I capture that information, I write it down, and then I just look at it and I'm like, okay, I don't have to like do all this tomorrow or next week, but what is the first step towards that goal, towards that vision that I had this morning? You want to put out a really like motivational video or a video about your past, something that would like normally cause you to be insecure. Yeah. And you're running, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna tell them about how I did this, this and that, and how it changed my life. And then you went home and like, if you didn't start putting the post out, you would then start second guessing yourself, and then later on you're like, oh, that was stupid. Why was I even thinking about doing that? But if you just act upon it right away, like take that first step, whatever it is, then that's when you actually start like moving towards that thing that you're being called to do. Yeah. You'd still be at Denny's if I didn't call you, bro. What's up, man? Good to see you, bro. You know Jared, right? Jandy. You actually want to know something crazy? I went to my grandmother's funeral, and they had like all this stuff on this board about my mom's side of the family, and they traced that side of my bloodline all the way back to the Mayflower, and then to King Henry from England. I had no idea. I just learned that like 2 years ago. And then my dad's side of the family is like Viking genes, and like that's where you get the psycho-ness from, right? So got a little of both worlds right there.
It's important to have everything here. And I'm like, you know what? This is life changing. You know what? As coming from like the public, like thinking like the average person, right? They have the average mindset, like they need to wait for the perfect time. Like me, I was at perfect time. Like Paul, my name's Paul. I'm a procrastinator, and I'm here to like defeat it and kill it. Rest in peace, Paul, procrastinator, because.
Kill that motherfucker. Yeah. You literally do. You do kill your old self. Like, I don't drink anymore. I don't do any of the shit I used to do. Like, you have to kill that version of yourself to really grow into that person you want to be. So, like, identify, what does the inferior version of Paul do? He procrastinates. What else does he do? What does he do? Like, what does he do? Identify it. Yeah. Well, what does my superior self do? He takes action, he takes risks, he goes to events, he reads, he works out every day, he has a plan, he has a morning routine. You just identify it, and then you're like, well, why the fuck do you want to be that guy? Why? What does it matter? And you have to find something that's really compelling that's gonna make you like take action to be that person. Otherwise you're gonna revert back to that old guy. But here's the thing, like all of you here are over 25, right? So like most of you guys are fucked because your brain doesn't want to change after 25. Okay? Your brain does not want to change. Your belief system, your core values, all the stuff about you is just really concrete and cemented in place, right? This is what happens at the age of 25. Your brain matures. Like that's why before that, you can, develop a growth mindset. You can like change much easier. So you have to like understand how the brain changes, right? And how you can reprogram your brain. There's 3 ways: trauma, novel experience, and repetition. We talk about this. Trauma is like what I went through, prison. Prison changed me instantaneously because of the severity of the event, right? It was so extreme, it was so intense. But if you guys aren't going through that type of trauma, you have to either create it, right? And use it to your advantage. So that's like doing an Ironman, like doing stuff that's so extreme, like getting out and running a marathon, like push yourself way out of your comfort zone. way out of your comfort zone.
Project.
What? Yeah, MDK project with Bedros, right? Like that's the type of stuff you need to do. You need to get so uncomfortable that it's gonna like really challenge who you are to the point where you're either gonna break or you're gonna develop so much strength and you're gonna find out how fucking capable you are. Shoes on, we're running 100 miles. If the cartel had your family over there and a big old machete to their neck and said, you better run that 100 miles or your family's done, would you do it? So why aren't you attacking your life that way? Why aren't you living your life that way every day? No urgency. See, you don't know what's at stake because you haven't almost died like I did. I almost lost my life, so I get it, right? I live that way every day. Like my family has the fucking knife to their neck every day. Every day when I wake up, that's the way I think, you know, and I've trained my mind and I've trained myself to show up in life that way. So, you know, the traumatic experiences can help you like forge that kind of fucking mentality, that savage mentality that we talked about. But then you also need a lot of novel experiences, like things that are different. You want patterns in your life, meaning routines and habits, but you don't want them to become stale. So like, let's say you read 10 pages out of a book every day. That's a good habit to have. Make sure you're taking in the right information though. So like novel experiences, like new information, new podcasts, coming here, like getting out of your comfort zone as often as possible. And you're uncomfortable, right? It forces growth. You need that. So you need that. So it's trauma, novel experience, and repetition. Ask yourself, like, which one of those am I missing? You don't need like bad trauma. You don't need like, you know, like really like heart-wrenching type stuff, but you need to create traumatic experiences, like things that really shock the system. A lot of times that's physical endeavors. You know, that's why I used to love cycling, dude, because I'd go into the mountains and I'd ride my bike for 4 hours, up and down mountains. You're starving, you're thirsty, your body's depleted, you know, you've been doing it. And it just helps you to like find this depth to you, this like just unlimited amounts of energy, you know, and strength and just that unstoppable mindset.
Derek Val, in wine cellar industry, so I do sales and I'm also looking to get into coaching. Start that. At this mastermind, I want to take away just the confidence and the ability to just take action on what I want to do. I want to come here and get the clarity and determine what the action steps that I need to do and then leave and not stop that momentum. Just take it full on.
My name is Danny Texan. I'm a personal trainer and online fitness coach based out in Puerto Rico. And what I want to take from this mastermind is, you know, everyone's mindset, and I want to be able to cultivate that because I'm going to be in Puerto Rico as the ultimate personal trainer that's going to change everyone's life, and I'm going to make a name for my business, Texan Fit, and I'm going to impact millions of lives, and I'm going to use Sean's blueprint for how he carries himself in his life daily and apply that to myself, and, you know, constantly leveling up and letting myself know that I fucking deserve more and that I am capable of being that 10.0 version of myself.
I love it. So real quick, more feedback, right? The self-talk. Stop saying I'm gonna develop a mindset. Like, you're in the process of doing it. You just did 75 hard and a half Ironman. Has anyone else done 75 hard and a half Ironman simultaneously? So wait, you have a one-up on everyone here. I've never done that. Recognize it. Start saying I'm in the process of creating the most elite mindset ever. I'm in the process of, because you are. It's not I'm gonna, that's like putting it off in a future date. You're actively doing it now.
My name's Jared Starks, day trader, and I'm here to tackle my days more. I want to live my life with the fire that Sean has, like where he's on a mission everywhere he goes. And I want to apply that towards my day trading and become a highly successful day trader. And just, I want to up my level of spirituality and my discipline with my finances.
All right.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is James Trifinus. I'm from Tracy, California. I'm here to revamp my life, start a financial makeover, start a personal makeover to make myself the most productive man I've ever been in my life. I've put away a lot of bad years, a lot of bad habits, and I do have 135 days sober now.
Whoa.
So I'm going to be taking on some entrepreneurship with the financial makeover program I'll be promoting. So I want to be the best I can be, and I want to help everybody achieve financial security in the near future.
Yeah.
That's it.
My name is Matt Fleming. I grew up in Arroyo Grande, California. I now live here in Santa Barbara. In-person trainer and head coach of the Unstoppable 365 MFR program, working with Sean, and I'm here to just surround myself with a bunch of like-minded individuals that are here to crush it in all aspects of life.
the world. And I was like, you know what?
And you're like, fuck that, I'm gonna keep doing what's working. And then the last day of January, I hit my biggest revenue month. That whole month, I felt like I was fucking poor, broke from spending all through December. And like, that's the fucking key. You gotta catch yourself when you're acting like a bitch. And keep fucking working out and doing everything that you need to do every single day.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Yeah, see, most people, like, they start faltering when things aren't going smoothly, and they don't realize, but they exacerbate that issue by not staying consistent in their routines, whatever it is. Like, Luel, who owns an HVAC company in Mexico, the other day he was like stressed, like, man, money's getting tight. I didn't get these last 3 jobs. Like, man, what do I do, Sean? Like, he thought I was gonna give him like the best answer, the magic secret, right? And I was like, bro, keep fucking showing up. Don't miss your workouts. Don't start sabotaging yourself, because now you're gonna create more doubt and you're gonna just make everything worse. Like, just keep crushing your day, show up as your best self, watch what happens. And sure enough,
So that's part of it. Yeah, and then train my team or what? Well, the other one is right? The other one, that is train the team. You train the team,
It's built around you, your brand, what you bring, like, you know, that fucking energy that you bring, and that's, you know, what people are there for, bro. So you gotta be able to do that. You don't have time.
your feeling for those 6 years?
It's almost like you have a family member that dies, but you know they're coming back. You know what I mean? Because they're gone. It's actually really like special, and like, you know, it's a blessing. You know, and I would always, man, we're so connected. Like through even thoughts, we were doing the same ab workouts while he was in prison, and I was out here aspiring to become a professional mixed martial artist. Like the same, like obliques or Russian twist for obliques. You know, leg lifts for the lower abs and pullover crunches.
Yeah.
And he like showed me who Eminem was, and we have like a video somewhere hidden
Number 70 now.
on a camcorder on a VHS of us like trying to rap and freestyle. But yeah, somehow I used to take the bus 1 hour one way to the Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and every once in a while I just would like not be at training when he called the home phone. So it'd be like a blessing by God that I would be there to be able to talk to him, because he wouldn't call like every day like some guys do, you know, or even every week. He'd like conserve his money or conserve his discipline and of not being connected with like the family while he was gone, and only call like once a month, you know, because they're like $5-10 a phone call. And I had a rental car for a month, and I used his ID to rent it because I was only 21. And one weekend I was like, oh, I got this extra like $200 in a rental car with his name, you know, so I surprise visit him. I showed up in the middle of the desert in like San Diego and didn't even tell him that I was coming to visit him. And to this day, that's one of the like coolest things I ever did. And
Fuck my credit up too.
I was gonna keep it forever. I was fucking these always on. Hey, return the car, okay? Because I was working, because I used to not work and just like survive off of sponsors, just enough to have like gas and food. But I was working, making like $100 a day, and the rental car was only 25, so I was still like profiting and going to train, and never wanted to go back to taking the bus again after doing that for years, taking it 1 hour one way to the academy. And he was in the middle of a basketball game in prison, soaked in sweat, and they came out and were like, Crane, you got a visitor, you know? And then he came in, like I missed out on a half hour on the 5-hour visit, and the 5 hours sitting at a table like this across from each other goes by so fast, you know? And just to try to put myself in like his shoes, obviously if you don't go through it yourself, you can't value it and like cherish something, you know, but to try to put myself in his shoes was always like a mental trick that I would use going into my high school football game, because he missed my whole senior year of high school football, which we won the CIF championship. And he, you know, he's my older brother, you know, my first coach, first training partner. As a little kid, you always want to like copy him and become like a football player, a star football player like him, or a star athlete. And I just would always try to like use what he was going through, that pain, and like kind of try to use it for whatever I could for motivation, you know? Like You're Never Over by Eminem would come on, and I would just start sprinting, like, you know, get to a whole new frequency and pull out a whole new version of myself, knowing that he couldn't even be out there doing all this stuff that I get the chance to do, you know. And picking him up from prison was awesome. It was 100 degrees on the beach in Huntington Beach, like this crazy heat wave on October 23rd in 2017. And me and my sister went to pick him up, and to see him jump out of the back of the van and like let that roar out, like that he was finally free after 5.5 years on a like inner directed mission to not get distracted by I could only imagine the negative influences and like shit that he had to overcome. And then the first thing he did was run up and grab the tree and like smell it, grab the branch. And now that I'm all into grounding and shit, the first thing he did was go and ground himself. I just came to that. I just put that puzzle piece together in my mind like a month or two ago. And he's all, look at all these colors, dude. You know, like surrounded, I can only imagine surrounded by cement and artificial light for like years, you know, and all that fake metal shit. You just like to see that gratitude in his eyes, you know? Like, look at all these colors, the mountains and fucking the sun and the palm trees. And then, yeah, we just drove straight to the beach in Huntington Beach and rented surfboards and paddled out in 8 to 10 foot sets in Huntington. It was 100 degrees on the beach. And now I'm all into octopus because I ate a bunch in Spain, and I literally became like a superhuman doing the intermittent fasting and just eating eggs and steak at night to make weight for the world championships. And then I was eating a bunch of octopus in Spain because it's like super abundant there. And then I just found a picture of us walking with our rental boards, and there was a fucking octopus on my surfboard. But I got washed down 5 lifeguard towers, and it took me 45 minutes to get out because it was 8 to 10 foot pumping. And I looked up and just saw Sean drop in on this wave and get shacked, and dude, it was like fucking insane. Yeah. And then we went and got massages that night. Went to the Hamburger Habit, which is from here, you know. It's got the #1 burger in the nation, and the original Hamburger Habit's only like a mile that way. And we grew up going to the Habit after the beach all the time, you know, because the food, and like it's weird how your appetite and how good food is after you're like in the sun all day or the beach. Yeah. Yeah, we stopped at Denny's and he got a steak and eggs. Yeah.
Sean's very descriptive. I read his book. He's very everything you just said, he said in his book. Wow. The colors and him howling like a werewolf.
Like an animal being released.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling when you're putting on real clothes. You know, you're getting out.
Yeah, I sent you.
It's like the little things, like you're putting on clothes that we're wearing right now.
The first shirts
I haven't worn Nikes in like 5 years, right? Like,
I sent you this shirt that I got made. It's like my silhouette, the first fight shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to wear, you know, what a picture of him. That's what I wore.
Well, it would be like you.
Silhouette of
It'd be like you sending your.
Yeah, no, it's dope.
Yeah. I still have one left that's never been worn of those shirts.
And where was I the next morning though?
At the gym, yeah, 5 a.m.
They were sleeping in the hotel. I was
I
back
slept
on
in.
program, right at the gym. Nothing changed, man. What beach was?
Gotta finish strong, head held high. Give your all, sprint to that finish line.
Brother, finish strong.
Synergy cannot be matched.
Iron sharpens iron. Let's go. That's why we're out here together.
Go, boys.
Yeah.
Unstoppable frequency.
Let's go.
On the fucking unstoppable.
Come on, baby.
There we go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Come on, boys. I'm gonna run with you guys. Let's go. Let's go.
For us, it's just like Bitcoin right now. I'm up like 20-30%.
There we go, big doctor.
Let's get it. Slow down.
It's where you cultivate that unstoppable mindset. You got to get uncomfortable. Push yourself. Look at our surroundings, man. How do you show how grateful you are for your life? Complaining about it, making excuses. You got to show through your actions who you are and how much you care about this life. Let's go. We're doing 13 K's, Everyone, we're doing a half marathon, just so you know.
Let's go,
I tricked you, motherfucker.
What's up, bro? How we doing?
Easy on this. Easy on this. Black to the fullest, baby.
Come on, man. Half marathon.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Yeah. Same shit. Let's go.
Look at this, dude. How can you fucking complain
dude.
when you're outside in this beautiful fucking weather, running on the beach? Like, it doesn't get any better than this. Nope. It does not get any better than this. You're blessed to live this fucking life.
It's fucking real hero right
You know what's
there.
crazy is when I was in rehab, I went to rehab 5-6 years ago, right around the corner, and this was our morning walk like 3 times a week. Like, we had to do it. I mean, it's a huge blessing, but it's a trip, because now when I get up at 3-4 in the morning to go for a fucking run, I just hit this spot and it brings back all those memories of like walking in a group at 26 years old, thinking that my life was fucking over, but I didn't realize it was just beginning. It was my first shot of sobriety, and it's a powerful experience to be back here, but in a completely different state of mind. Like, I absolutely love my life. Everything I went through brought me to this moment here and prepared me to be the person that I'm becoming.
That's the hardest part. I'm back and like, oh, I don't have enough. Thinking about my financial situation, not having enough.
Come on, you're strong. You're strong.
All right, so these guys came out this morning. They thought they were gonna do maybe a 3-mile run, little beach workout. We're 13 miles in, we're doing a half marathon. Like, these guys didn't know that they could push themselves to that length, right? But you always have more than you understand that you're capable of. You always have more that you could give and push for. But you don't know unless you get around people who are living that way with that mindset. One of my guys, Dan, out here, thinking all he could do was 6 miles. He just doubled that, right? So it's the power of proximity, being around people who are living at that level and pushing themselves. Instantaneously you grow. But you guys, what you have to recognize, everyone listening, you have so much more within you that you're able to give and put forth energy, strength, determination than most of you are living with on a day-to-day basis. You have to get environments that push you, that stretch you. You have to get out of your comfort zone. That's when you realize how fucking amazing you are, how limitless your potential is, how much strength, how much determination that you have, but it's something you have to cultivate daily. You have to get up and attack your life, and when you do, every day is a gift, and you realize that every day is something that you cherish. Every moment, I want that for you. I want you to find out how fucking amazing you are. You need to feel that within, but you'll never feel it within just being comfortable, being safe and secure, not testing yourself, not challenging yourself. You have to do things that impress you as often as possible, and when you do, you'll really start to love yourself and see what you're capable of.
Powerful, powerful. It's only 24.
All right, running through, because their faces are red as fuck. They're dead. They're depleted.
Yeah, some of them are already bitching.
right
Like,
up the street,
I'm not
just
running
Google
anymore
Maps
past the
back to
13-mile
Boulder.
mark. But I'm like,
Backyard bull.
Yeah.
dude, it's about breaking limiting beliefs, man. Like, everyone has their own different limiting beliefs, and you gotta respect that. But at the end of the day, it's like finding what your own personal boundary is and breaking it. And everyone's is different. So if you can find that boundary of yours and keep picking at it every fucking day, and you break it, you're just gonna keep doing that. And that's how you condition yourselves. That's why I spend time with Sean, because he's consistently doing that on himself, and I'm instilling that belief within myself. And you know, that's what the unstoppable 365 MR motherfucker is all about.
And when I woke up this morning, no lie, I was like, fuck, man, I'm like running.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't want to run 5 miles.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing
I
like
thought
5.
we were gonna run like just 6 and then chill, go to the ocean, and then run back. Dude, crazy. I'm not even like hungry right now.
Yeah, try to. After these runs, I'm like,
Breathe out here.
I'm just gonna get my gallon of water.
Can't be getting
1,000 calories?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna miss this moment. So I'm like, fuck the water.
A 200-pound guy running at a 10-minute mile burns
The
about
guy did a 100-mile run
155 calories
fast,
an hour.
0 calories.
So
Mike,
like
Mike,
195, and we're running a 10-minute mile.
Low carb runners on Instagram.
Thank you,
It's
dude.
all keto.
Oh, he ran 100 miles faster.
0 calories.
Like even throughout the whole run, even the sodium pack.
Then it's just all about more and more and more, and it's never enough. What, another car? Another house? More money? Like, dude, that shit doesn't make you happy. You know, real happiness, joy, gratitude, it's like an internal state that you create. And it's knowing that, like, I don't need more. Like, I have everything I have right now. If I accumulate more in the process, like, great. But, like, I have everything I need right now. Like, I'm alive, I'm breathing, like, I have legs. We just went and ran out by the ocean. We have this energy, this synergy with like one another. You know, that's what it's all about. It's not about, like, the stuff. That's just, like, extra, you know? But a lot of people lose sight of that. And you see the battle right now of entrepreneurship. It's like the money, like the scarcity mindset, the scaling. Like, it's okay to focus on those things, but always be tapped into your gratitude, your purpose, your why, and then you won't ever let that stuff start to control you. You know what I mean?
I see that with a lot of my clients. It's like I see a lack of fulfillment, and I have more fulfillment, and I'm just a young, driven cat, you know. But I don't have what they have. But it's kind of like I'm trying to figure out what is it that I can do to help them just realize, like, what's the next step. And I guess it's just showing up every day, like where you show up.
Just be so honest and straightforward with them. Like, here's the truth. I was happier in prison than anyone else I've ever met in my life. I was happier in prison with absolutely nothing than anyone else I've ever met. I was more grateful. I was just like so appreciative of life and like tapped in on a spiritual level. And I realized all the stuff that we're taught we need to be happy growing up, like, it's a lie. You don't need any of that stuff. And I was able to really like separate myself from the conditioning that everyone goes through in society and the belief systems that are imposed upon us. And I just started feeling this way about myself and my life that I had never felt before. And here I am with nothing in a cell, just crushing burpees, crushing books, like doing everything I could to make me feel proud of who I was. And I started feeling self-love, like inner peace, gratitude. I was like, wow, this is what we're all searching for in life. And I'm feeling it right here. I'm experiencing it right now. And when you're in that internal state of gratitude and like bliss, you don't ever crave, need, or desire anything else. You never like think, oh man, I wish I had more. I wish I had something different. You're living it. You're experiencing it. And so the goal is to get yourself in a state of mind every day where you realize, like, I don't need anything else. Like right now, I need nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. I would love to have my wife and kids here, right? But I'm so in the moment right now, I don't need anything else. I'm not like thinking about food or thinking about a workout or thinking about like making money. Like, I'm just in this moment with you, vibing, connecting, talking, speaking, you know? This is like the highest state of like, you know, frequency and internal state that you can be in. It's right here, dude. So the more that you can do that, we're all gonna go through the battle, right? Where you like it's part of the human condition. You can't always be like this because then you couldn't understand what you were experiencing. You have to go through those lows, those struggles. You have to go through that internal battle to then make these moments like meaningful. Otherwise, they wouldn't be. It would just be normal life. All right.
You, Danny, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, Dan, speak to the camera.
What are you messaging right now?
I'm just I'm putting stories right now on my thing, on my IG.
Speak to the camera real quick. Tell them what you just did.
So, before this, the furthest I ran was 7 miles, right? That was my record. Today, in preparation for my half marathon, in a few weeks, we did a half marathon today. 13 fucking miles, man. I went from 7 miles to 13 miles. So I feel fucking great. I feel alive. I feel like I went to war, but that's always a good feeling. So let's go. If I can do it, you can do it. Which it's all up here. It's all mental. You gotta push yourself beyond your limits to be the person you want to become. Let's go.
First time ever in my life, 13 miles. No preparation, never ran in years. And I came through. I even had like halfway, I'm like, oh, I think we're done. I'm like, I'm starting to get some like hip pain. I'm like, I just sucked it up, pushed through, and you know, your energy, I vibed off it, and now I can conquer anything, bro.
What do you want to say to the camera?
Man, it's like when you come to events like these, I set the intentions with having no expectation, and I wanted to be intentional with the people I want to surround myself with, because in order to level up and grow, you got to be intentional with your circles. You got to pick and choose who your tribe is. And when I met Sean, that's who I knew. he is a leader that I want in my circle, and I know that being around Sean will attract the other individuals that I would want in my life, and that's truly what life is about, being surrounded by people that you love, people that you will suffer with, and people that you will have breakthroughs with. And I'm just so grateful for this moment. You guys need to do this in your life. If you want to level up and grow, you got to find your tribe, and you got to keep searching and be true to yourself and authentic, and God will put them in your circle within proximity.
So man, we at first I thought we were gonna run, you know, like 7 miles, and then it went to 10, and then I went to turn around, and Sean was like, "What are you doing? Are you just gonna go catch up with those guys?" He was like, "We're doing a half marathon." So 13 miles later, you know, here I am, and I feel really good. You know, the body's a little tight, but mentally I'm good. I'm ready to keep rolling. You know, alive, energized, and you know, feeling really good about the weekend and where we're gonna go from here.
Yeah, fucking just crushed the half marathon with all these guys. You know, pretty cool to see the personal growth and new self-belief that these men instilled within them. You know, like Paul hasn't ran in fucking years or ever, runs 13 miles. Bobby, Dan, Ali, all these guys that really like ran quadruple the amount that they've ran before is pretty incredible, you know. 13 miles is nothing for me now after the 100 miles that Sean helped me accomplish. I'm not even fucking warmed up yet, so it's fucking the beginning of the weekend, Friday morning, and abundance, energy, and frequency is within all of us. So I'm gonna fast, no acai and white refined bullshit sugar. Thanks to, who said his name again? Jandy's fucking got me on one, because I'm the fasting guy and he's fasting, so that's a perfect example of iron sharpens iron, because I can't submit and lose to him. He's the youngster in the group too, you know, but he's got that young energy, and man, we're just all sharpening each other, you know. It's pretty incredible.
So we just got back from this run. We're here getting some acai bowls. I just want to say that this was the craziest run of my life. The most I've ever ran was 3 miles. So what did we run? 13 miles total. I gotta be honest, I walked about 3, ran about 10. I can't feel my legs. Literally been stretching for like an hour. It's crazy. But yeah, excellent experience. Highly recommended. Unstoppable. Let's get it.